I want you to picture this. Picture a seventh grader standing at the front of the room, shoulders back, voice steady. She's not reading from a script, most likely, but she might have some notes nearby. And she's sharing a story that matters to her. Maybe it's about her hamster, maybe it's about a recent trip to Disney World. And she's doing it with confidence and clarity and poise. Now, I want you to imagine that same child perhaps 6 months earlier. Maybe her head is down. Maybe she's a bit quiet in a group. Maybe she's afraid to speak up in front of other kids or classmates. And so, what changed between then and now? What changed is she found a safe and encouraging place to grow as a speaker. That's it. Where she could practice in front of others, where she could receive constructive, targeted feedback, and then take what she learned and apply it to the next speech over and over, the process of growth that we all go through in Toastmasters. And that's exactly what the Granby Gavel Club is designed to be. And we are inviting students in grades 6 through 12 from within the driving distance of Granby, Connecticut. Of course, you're welcome to fly in if you want to be part of the club. In my opinion, clear communication today is more important than it ever used to be. You would think it's the opposite because our kids are growing up in a very stimulating world of Instagram and TikTok, YouTube and Netflix, no single source of news or truth, the rapid growth of AI like ChatGPT and a million things grabbing our attention. But the important thing is, how do we stand out among all that noise? And that's where I think a deeply human skill, like what I'm trying to do now, being able to convey your thoughts and opinions in an intelligent, respectful way, is very important. Isn't it important? And yet public speaking is still one of the top fears of many of us, adults included. The thing is, think about school or something, a skill like financial literacy. Speaking is something that most of us are never, ever taught. And without the practice, without the feedback from someone who has been there and understands the nuances of proficient speaking rather than random advice, many of us never develop the confidence to speak up ever, not in school, not in our everyday conversations. And then this translates into life as an adult and to our careers. Now, I have kids. I've met kids. I love kids. They can be very thoughtful. They can be creative, so intelligent, so much that they think of that I don't even think of after all these years on the earth. But if they can't express themselves clearly, it can hold them back in so many ways when they get older. How do I know this? I know this from personal experience because I didn't speak up until 10 years into my career. And I finally decided to join Toastmasters and slowly learn those skills. And now they can't get me to shut up. So let's get back to the Granby Gavel Club and talk about what it is. It is a club that gives students a chance to build those exact speaking and leadership skills early in life in a structured way. It is modeled after Toastmasters, a nonprofit educational organization that has hundreds of thousands of members, but we adapt it for kids. We meet twice a month, the second and fourth Thursday from 5 to 6 p.m. at the Granby Senior Center. Students run the meetings. That's the cool part. Students actually run the meetings. They're officers of the club, and they have a little bit of guidance from myself and in some cases other adult mentors from the sponsoring club Talk It Up Toastmasters. And what the students do is they rotate through speaking and leadership roles. They deliver speeches based on specific projects and objectives. And then they receive the positive and helpful feedback that I mentioned earlier, which is sort of the special sauce of the whole process. We're aiming for 20 students maximum so that everyone gets a chance to participate in those meetings. This is not a lecture. This is not a class. It is also not a co-op for my homeschoolers out there. It's more like a learning lab run by the students where they build confidence by doing the thing. Now you might ask, what if my child is shy? Well, I get that question from adults all the time. I'm too nervous, I'm too shy. That's exactly who this is for. We meet them where they are. We help them build confidence over time. What if we have a busy schedule? I get it. That's why we keep it to 2 meetings a month for an hour. It keeps the schedule part manageable, but then allows for preparation and practice in between. And then what about the cost? It's $60 for the whole school year. It covers costs like the physical speech manual we'll be printing and giving to your child. My daughter's helped me come up with a budget. We're a nonprofit. We're just trying to cover costs, and there's some early bird and sibling discounts as well. Now, I personally believe in this not only because I've been through it myself, but because my own daughters, who are starting ninth and seventh grade this year, will be part of the club. They'll be sitting in those chairs, standing up, giving speeches, leading roles, trying things they've never done before, just like your kids will. I want my daughters to grow up knowing that their voice matters and that it's also a skill that they can practice and get better at, not something you're just born with. I invite your child to join us. Registration is now open on our website. We kick off in September, and as mentioned before, space is limited to 20 students. Let's help kids find their voice.